ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200+ entertainment and news networks. Or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPNNW.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. I'm full of water. I stay hot tub. Stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Shake in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah.
Shake in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Will it make me wet?
Yeah.
Well.
That's what you're talking about, Brian.
Like that little jig Glenn was doing in there.
Well, he's pumped up, man. He's ready to go to work.
I'm ready.
Baby.
There's something about this water. You put something in it.
Good stuff, baby. Good stuff.
I think we should pray for Mark McLeod. I mean, he has to have hurt himself falling off of that street sign.
I know. Wasn't that crazy?
He was up on the red light. Yeah, that is Mark. I didn't realize that. Unbelievable. We have more
No truth. No truth to the rumor he yelled, "Cannonball!" as it was going on.
Anyway, we'll ask Dr. Ward about this, what he thought about the Florida game. They had a good time down in Gainesville, man. National champs. Unbelievable. All right, we're live, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the legendary J. Michael Studios. Wednesday, world-famous J. Michael Spaghetti is today. And if you're over in Beef O'Brady's today, Lynn Haven, get out there and see Pat Perno and get the Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. They're going to have their 10 wings inside for $9.99. You can't beat that. Great service, great customer service. The food's incredible. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Dr. Glenn Mann. Wildcat, what's up, Big Daddy?
I'm ready, man. Bring it on.
Let's do it. Let's get it in. Let's get it in right now.
We got Coach. We got Coach Hudson coming up. We got Mark McLeod. We'll talk to him about hanging off of street poles or whatever it was he was doing out there. And also, we're going to give you a chance to get entered to win a couple tickets to go to Talladega. We're going to do that at sometime around 7:15 and 8:15 today. So we got a whole lot of stuff to do. Let's get on it, man.
All right. Glenn, what's going on locally, Big Daddy?
You also get to ride in the car with Ricky Bobby, too. Isn't that what I thought? So, anyway.
You ain't first, you're last, baby.
Well, first of all, I'll give a shout-out to Coach Mike Memon. He was the Bay County basketball coach of the year. Yep.
Hey, good job, Coach Memon.
Coach Greg Bailey was the girls weightlifting coach of the year.
Bailey, all right. Yep.
All right, and then I got to give a shout out to a young man. This will be in the FSU report, but Alex Steen, who played basketball, and I guess he graduated in 2022 from Arnold. Is going to be a FSU Seminole.
Woo, good job. Good job.
So congratulations. On the baseball front last night, it was Leon 12, Bay High 2. It was Arnold 3, Peachtree Ridge 0. I guess they came off the mountain and, couldn't have the gravity there. But anyway, it was a Mosley 10, Bozeman 5 last night. So Mosley's coming on up. But I tell you what, when you're Bozeman, you play 2 or 3 classifications up, you're still hanging tough, though. All right, it was the Rutherford Rams 2, Walton Braves 1. It was Sneeds beat Weewa 7-2, and that was actually on Monday. And then South Walton beat Nicefield 3-0. Coach was worried about that one. And Holmes County 6, Mariana 2. It was Chipley 15, Sneeds 2. It was Franklin County 5, Liberty County 2, Paxton 18, Bethlehem 6. Now Port St. Joe played Seminole County, but I can't find the score there. If anybody happens to know that, I'll try to to find it before now. Sometimes they don't put the scores on until the next day. Right. In softball last night, it was completely Arnold 18, Mariana 0.
Go Rick Green.
It was North Bay Haven 14. It was Bozeman 3, Walton 2, South Walton 1 in softball. It was Vernon 8, Weewa 7, Port St. Joe 2, Cottondale 1. It was Childs 11, Bluntstown 1. It was also Wakulla 5, Holmes County 0, Liberty County 1, Franklin County 0, and it was Paxton 19, Freeport 6, and Chipley 7, Ponce de Leon 2, and then we got some games tonight, but I did not go ahead and put those out. Very few come in on Wednesday.
Would you do me a big favor if you would? Would you go back over the Bozeman score and also South Walton?
Yeah, Bozeman was defeated by Mosley 10-5 in baseball. Okay, and then it was South Walton 3, Nicefield 0.
Yeah, he was worried about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, as if that was the only part you weren't listening to.
Did you see where they hired a new football coach at Niceville?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
I didn't know the other guy. What happened to the other guy? He retired?
Yeah, he just retired. They didn't fire him because he had a great record there.
Yeah.
And he just, time to move on. And
the funny thing was, I was reading that, and I'm blanking on his name right now. I'm sorry, but the guy who resigned from Niceville, he and Whidden played together.
Yeah, Barnes, I think. Is his name.
and I guess he was the center and Whidden was the quarterback.
Yeah.
I think it was. They knew each other. Of course, there was obviously a lot of worry that Whidden was going to go over after that, and he had shot that down pretty quick. But the guy they brought in has had, I think 3 state championships, they said, from Virginia and Georgia. I think he was last coming from Marietta. So, I
read something.
Didn't have a very good record last year, but he's had a long track record of success.
Yeah. And he's worked kind of in the NFL, too. Or he put people in the NFL, so,
It looks like a good hire.
Yeah, so he's not, he's not coming into a program that needs to be rebuilt.
No.
It's just being reloaded.
But good luck over there.
Yes,
Don't slip up.
That's right. Yeah.
I tell you what, that's one of the elite jobs in the state. You're going to win there. I don't care who the coach is.
They got about Alabama's patience level, too. So.
Well, when you play over there, you have to go all the way up these steps to go to the locker room. Mm-hmm. And it's not Niceville, it's Nashville, because they holler things at you as you go up. So.
They give you, I will say this about them, they give you every opportunity and everything you need to win. That's all you can ask for as a coach.
Yeah.
You get that,
absolutely.
you can deal with what happens.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But anyway, didn't you both tell me something this morning I didn't even know about, that the state of Florida is finally, they know we're losing great coaches to Georgia as we speak.
Right.
Alabama pays better than they do Florida in some of these schools. Big money.
Let me pull up the story here. So it says, blah, 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 blah.
It's the Florida
Cut through all the gibberish.
Florida Coaches Coalition.
And Adam Anderson, who's a Republican state representative from Palm Harbor, is one of the ones behind it. So it is.
Good.
And he says, I'm trying to weed through
No, that's
all the
okay.
nonsense.
That's good. We got a big-time politician.
But, I mean, what they acknowledge is what we've talked about on the show forever is just across the border in Georgia, coaches are, easily making 6 figures, and it's challenging when our best coaches are going out of state, for better opportunities.
It's going to affect our colleges, Florida State, Florida, Miami, I'm telling you.
So.
And one of the things, too, is they were shocked at how little some people actually make. One coach said he made $40,000, a head football coach, and that was the supplement added to his teaching. Right. And so, sometimes you go to Georgia and you're just a coordinator and you make over $100,000.
Right. So they quoted Cocoa High School head coach Ryan Schneider. And he was one of the coaches who was actually at the Capitol, advocating for this. And he said, look, we've won 3 state championships. In those years, we put 30 to 40 kids individual into football, and the money I get paid is $3,000. This is stipend, obviously, not as overall. Where if I go 20 miles north, I'm getting paid 6 figures.
Yeah. I hear you.
It's a big difference.
Hopefully they'll listen, but I'm not pumped up about it.
But, and let me, because this is important. I know people hear this and they think, it's football, think about this. And he goes, and this is a good quote, the value they provide is not just winning games on the fields. That value extends into our society and into our neighborhoods. They keep kids out of trouble. They're mentors to our student athletes. They really help to build up the next generation of Floridians. That's what Anderson, the state rep, did. So, and he's 100% right. We know that, but, I think it's important to say it because a lot of times, people who aren't necessarily that into sports will just clutch back, it's football. Why do they get paid so much? Well, that's why.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Well, I'd like to see across the board all these coaches.
And nowadays, it's every sport's year round. You can't.
It is.
You just can't take any time off. Yeah. So.
And I said it all the time. I coach here, and we've been here 25, 26, whatever it's been. And the baseball coaches are, I'll tell you again, they got more pressure on them to win than the football coaches here. I really believe that.
Well, that's because almost
everybody's
every
a baseball
parent,
coach.
everybody's parents coach baseball. So, yeah.
Well, that's because if you go 30-5, you're 5th in the region, 5th in our area.
All right, they've already come out with the 25-26 college playoff schedule. Here we go. The first round game will be played December 19th on campus. That December 19th, game one will be on a Friday night. The next 3 games will be played Saturday, December 20th. There'll be 3 games played then, and then they go to the quarterfinals. Those games, the first one will be played on December 31st. I don't think it's a great day to play those games, but whatever. That game, only the one game we played on December 31st is going to be the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. That's a Wednesday this year. So everybody will be out having a good time on Wednesday night. The Cotton Bowl will be played. The next day, early afternoon, something a little bit different. This doesn't make any sense. Early afternoon. Okay, and the Rose Bowl's after. Thursday, January 1st, the first early afternoon game will be the Orange Bowl, which is always played at night. This is going to be an early afternoon game. Thursday, January 1st, the second game will be the Rose Bowl. And the primetime game will be Thursday night, the Sugar Bowl. So that's the 3 for the quarterfinals, the Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Then you go to the next round after they play. Thursday, January 8th, you will have the Fiesta Bowl. Friday, January 9th, they will have the Peach Bowl. That's your Final Four, right? 2-4. Yeah, that's your Final Four. And then the national championship game will be played. A little bit later. It's going to be played. They give them a little bit of time off. They get last January 9th. The next game will be played. National championship game and location I completely hate. Monday, January 19th, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida, on a Monday night, January 19th. And don't get me wrong, I've been to that game several times. It's out in the middle of, Brian, you ever been there? It's out,
no, not to that one.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. When you get there, they got little bars underneath the stadium, but it's not a lot of room for a lot of people. You sit there and you watch the other games play when they used to have 2 teams. Alabama played Oklahoma in the playoffs. We were there, and we watched the early game sitting up under there. But it's just nothing. I mean, nothing compared to the atmosphere in New Orleans, Atlanta, or Dallas, in my opinion. Now, the Rose Bowl, you've been to the Rose Bowl, right, Brian?
I have.
Now, that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere also, isn't it?
Kind of. I mean, it's Pasadena, but it's kind of out around the mountains. They have a golf course out there, which you actually tailgate on the golf course, which seems sacrilegious, But
yep.
But it's absolutely. I wouldn't say it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's a little bit removed, but not by much. But it's beautiful.
Glenn, you've been to the Orange Bowl before.
Yeah.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't want to go watch Alabama play Oklahoma that time. The only reason I went was Jamie was covering the game. Your hotel's so far away from the stadium.
All right.
It's just, and the traffic, it's just not a good situation.
Let me tell you a quick funny story about the Rose Bowl. So I went out there for the season opener in 2001 against UCLA. After the Tom Brady game in 2000, and everybody was back, and Alabama's like number 3 in the country, think you're going to win the national championship, and then DuBose did a DuBose. And
opening kickoff.
Yeah, well, punt.
Yeah,
we stopped them 3 and out. Freddie Millens runs it right into my face in the end zone, and we're screaming national champs. But so before the game, you're tailgating. It's gorgeous. Beautiful weather, obviously. You got the mountains all around you. You're on this golf course. There's 30,000 Alabama fans out there. And I'm just looking around, taking it all in, and I start laughing. And everybody's with me like, what in the world are you laughing at? And I just pointed. And I'm not making this up. Multi-million-dollar homes all on the mountainside, all around. There's one, I'm not making this up, one double-wide trailer up on the mountainside, and it had a Roll Tide banner hanging on the side. I said, you cannot make that up.
Oh, my God. Glenn, is your family out there?
God, hilarious.
Unbelievable.
It had to have been a 2-story trailer.
It was a double-wide, though. I will give it that. But no, it was hysterical.
It wasn't double-wide. It was a little bitty thing. All right, let's talk about some of our great people I've already mentioned 2 of them early this morning.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me and Brian.
I've already mentioned you guys. I'm talking about the legendary J. Michael's restaurant. Today is world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Go check it out. We think you'll absolutely love it. And then again, of course, over at Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven, we got Pat Perno, City Commissioner over there, does an incredible job. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven today, 10 wings inside for $9.99. I love the way they treat you there. TV's everywhere. Great atmosphere. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Now, the local 115, they got specials going on Wednesday. 10 wings for $10. $5 house wines. All coaches, past and present. Listen to this. All coaches. It doesn't matter if high school, middle school, whatever. If you're a coach, tell them. They'll probably remember you, but just tell them. Past or present, eat a dozen raw oysters for $15. That's some good deals right there. So, Glenn, you and I can go.
When they open? I'm going right now.
Downtown hysterical.
No, what?
Hysterical?
Hysterical. Downtown local 115. Go check it out. It's a great place, man. It's like a college and a high school and Hall of Fame for all these people who've been in Bay County. You got college pictures of kids that grew up here where they played ball at Notre Dame, Florida State, Florida, you name it, they're there. Glenn's right there by the bathroom.
One of the guys, Bud Abel, who played for Kansas City in one of the Super Bowls, is his jerseys up there. And I don't know if he's still teaching at Moser. He's retired, but you know what a great guy he was.
Wildcat, we're down there at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven after lunch. Let's go look at some jewelry. I want to get somebody that's special, that's someone I really care about, a necklace or something.
Well, you know, Mother's Day is just around the corner, so you better start, thinking about.
Yeah, and don't let Julie find out.
And also, a lot of people are thinking about getting engaged, maybe even married on the beaches or beautiful white sandy beaches. Or so. Why?
Oh, excuse me.
Because, like Glenn said before, they put something in our water. And
just don't do it by the sky wheel.
You can design it and have it on her finger within 10 days. And you can do it for anything, any price. They'll try to beat it out there at David Adamson Designer Jewelry. While I've got your attention, and of course we're going to call Coach Hudson here in just a little bit. So why don't we go ahead and get somebody registered to win our 2 tickets to the race at Talladega. It's the Jacks Links 500. It's Sunday, April 27th. Here's the deal, boys and girls, moms and dads. What you got to do is you text the code word, which I'm about to give you in just a moment. Text the code word and your racing name to 850-215-6290, and then listen to the Inside Drive in the afternoon underdogs. They will call your name because you entered the code word and your racing name. They will call your name. You call them as quickly as you possibly can. That will give you a qualifying time. At the end of all this shenanigans, the fastest qualifying time will win 2 tickets. And we want to thank PCB, Sports Hobby, Panama City, Toyota, Buffalo Rock, Hampton and Thomas, and Homes Suites, and a whole bunch of other people for putting this on. And they also, looks like you get a Talladega garage experience where you get to go back there and maybe even meet Ricky Bobby. So here is your code word for today. Text this in to 850-215-6290. Text the word and your name, SPEED, S-P-E-E. Speed is your code word.
Let's get Coach Hudson on the phone. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Speed!
Not your Speedo, but speed.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Race to Talladega.
We got Jackson State Jeff on the line. Jackson State Jeff, how are you, my friend?
Man, doing well. How's it going, guys?
We're doing good. That was good. You were ready to go. You probably had 850-215-6290 already on the dial, and boom, knocked it out. David, what was that qualifying time there?
2 seconds.
Woo!
From PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Panama City, Toyota, and your racing station. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, a wind out of the north around 2 miles per hour and clear skies with lows around 55. Tomorrow, sunny with a very light wind and a temperature near 74. Moving into Friday, the same with a high of 74 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The number one SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Like to talk with your mouth full, you guys.
Glenn thought you were talking about something else. We're back, 104.3 ESPN
Are we back?
Northwest
Or
Florida.
is the FCC listening?
I tell you what, man, we're pumped up. We got him on right now. Bay House. It's Bay Day. Bay Day. Glenn Manley's here, so you know it's Bay Day. Bay Day is important. We got one of the top coaches in the Southeast on right now, Coach Hudson. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Doing well.
Well, great. Let's get into it. We hadn't talked to you in a week. Give us a rundown. What's happened? Who's playing well? Give us some names.
Well, let's see. We played 3 games since last we talked. We last Wednesday we had Rutherford. Played those guys at our field, and it was a really good game. Actually, it was 10 innings. So that was a heck of a ball game, and we found a way to win that in the bottom of the 10th. We swung the bat pretty well. Had 12 hits on the game that game, and just couldn't get a lot of runs. Couldn't get a lot of runs across. But Calvin Howard had 3 hits for us. He led the way on our offense there. He's our catcher, and he's caught most every inning for us this year, and it's good to see him swinging the bat well. He had 3 hits, and including the game-winning base knock he had in the 10th inning to score the go-ahead run there. And Andrew Scott and Cooper Pendergrass, Elliott Richter, and Leon Adams all threw well for us. I think they had 15 or 16 strikeouts during that game and threw the ball over the plate. And all 4 of those guys did a nice job for us on the mound. And so that was a good win. And then we turned around the very next night and played North Bay Haven here at our place, and another good game. We got beat 2-1 there, pitcher's duel, and Trace Brooks was a pitcher for us that game, and I think he had 11 strikeouts, I believe it was, and was really just fantastic on the mound. We had one error. I mean, we made one error that really hurt us in that game, and Sam Compton threw for those guys, and Sam threw well. He threw the ball really well, too, and I think I believe I counted after that game, I think we had 12 ground balls in that game, and they made 12 plays. They did not make a mistake. They played really good defensively, and Sam threw the ball well, and we got beat there by North Bay Haven. So then we couldn't get bunts down. We did some things that you got to be able to do to win tight games, and we didn't quite get that done. But they did play very well. Coach had them ready to go, and they beat us. And then last night with the Leon, we had 2-1 game out at Leon, and things wheels fell off for us a little bit there. I think it was the bottom of the 4th. We went into that inning, 2-1 game, and next thing you know, I think we walked 7. They had 7 hits, and we had a little 2-out pop-up that would have got us out of an inning that turned into a 5-run inning on us there, and So wheels kind of came off last night there, and we got beat there at Leon. But turn right back around and play today. Lighthouse Christian on the road. Lighthouse Christian's 15-6, I believe they are this year, and they're just one of them a private school that's they're going to be ready with their Florida State commit on the mound for us today. I'm sure of that. So it's going to be a nice challenge for us today. We got to get it turned around a little bit. We're not playing great right now, but it's you don't have to be playing great right now. You hope that you're really going good this time of year. But we've got 3 games left. 3 games left in our season. This is the beginning of it. After this, our last game of the regular season, and then 2 more hopefully in the district tournament. So that's 3 games that's going to decide. If we're going to be a playoff team or not, and that's the goal for our group this year is to make the playoffs. And so we've got 3 games left to see what we can do.
Yeah. Well, Coach, did you put a bunk bed in your locker room because you went to Leon last night? Now you got to travel again, so I know you're getting home real early so you can get in bed.
Yeah, I know. We actually played a day game at Leon, so it wasn't as bad getting home. But we originally scheduled Lighthouse Christian on Monday. So that's a night game over there. So we're going to get back late Monday night. So I decided to make a day game at Leon, thinking that was going to be the last of the 2 trips, so we could get back at a decent hour. But it kind of backfired on us with the weather. So we had to move. The Monday game to Wednesday. So now we get the late night tonight. So yeah, we gotta be ready to roll.
You talked about you had 3 games left. Obviously, if you win the district, you're going to get to go. You're going to make the playoffs. So, but if you don't, what's the magical number to get in? You got to win 2 of the last 3. What do you feel like? Give us kind of a rundown on that.
Yeah, it's all about the rankings, and everybody has already. I think that's been explicitly told by every coach on here. Nobody understands what that means, but I do know that if we win the district, we're in, and that's our. That's really what we want to do. You got to win the district to get in there. I don't know what would happen. I really honestly think deep down that if we win this game today, we might be in some kind of decent shape for the regionals. We're the 7 seed as it is right now. The top 8 get in. I think tonight's game's a huge game for us to try to play a really good pitcher, get us some confidence going on the offensive side of it, and I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. But again, our goal is to win the district. That's pretty much that's how we want to get in this thing. There's a chance that we might if we don't win the district, but that's really all we can do now is know what's for sure, and for sure we get in if we win the district.
Coach, remind us again who is in your district.
Well, we are the 1 seed in the district, and then Rutherford is the 2. So North Bay Haven in the 2-3 game, and then Gadsden County is the 4. So we will host Gadsden County Tuesday, and Rutherford will host North Bay Haven. Man,
that's a spread out as far as Gadsden County is concerned. But I don't know why they keep doing that.
I don't know either. That's a long way for them to go.
Well, Coach, good luck with that. We're counting on you. So I've already secretly got a new contract. If you win, you get $50,000. It's just like the Florida coach who just won the national championship. So we'll work on that.
Oh yeah, good. Okay, yeah, that'll add on. Hey, that just adds on all the other money you get coaching.
Yeah, that's true.
Might not even notice it.
Let me ask you one more question before we let you go. Now, being number 1 seed, if you win. And say Rutherford wins, you're the home team, right?
Yes. Yeah, we will host both games for the district tournament. The highest seed host. So we will host that one.
And when will that one be played? I know one's Tuesday, and the final game will be played when? You got him?
Yeah, he's still there.
Hello.
There you are.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Maybe you didn't hear the question.
No, I didn't.
I said, where were the game? What day is the game? If you win the first one Tuesday, when will y'all play again on Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday's championship game, 6 o'clock Thursday.
Okay.
All the games are at 6 o'clock Tuesday, and then the semifinals are Tuesday, and then the finals at 6 o'clock Thursday.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on. We will talk to you next week. Good luck to you. I hope you get it done.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of the wonderful people we have. Glenn Manley, you love all of our sponsors. I do, too. Let's talk about some of them right now as we go. All right. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Do you want to get pumped up? I just eaten all this food. I'm ready to take a nap again.
Glenn's going to open up his restaurant.
Let's face it, some of us can't look better.
Well, Glenn's trying.
I know.
Be nice, Brian. Come on. Anyway, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. 2 great locations. Pier Park, 23rd Street. They got so many great products. I can't even name them all. They do such a wonderful job. Go by and see Jason Covalessi. You want to gain muscle mass, he can do it. You want to lose weight, he can do that. He can do it all. If you got high blood pressure, you got high cholesterol, go check it out. They do a great job. All natural. Very, very friendly people that work for him. Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
I'm still wearing my Halloween mask, thank you.
And Hale also will be there on the show Friday. Newbies, 4 great locations. John and Charlotte do a wonderful job. They've had the best entertainment all spring break. For all you spring breakers out there, get out of the mothership. They don't worry about people getting rowdy. They got their own security system. They do a really good job down there. You will be safe at any 4 of the legendary Miss Newbies. And we hopefully will have the man, the myth, the legend on just in a second. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
The Atlanta Braves have had a slow start, but now they're ready to launch.
Deep left field. That jumped off his bat. Back to the wall. Out of here!
Tonight, it's the Atlanta Braves versus the Philadelphia Phillies. We'll have coverage coming up at 6. First pitch at 6:15. This is Braves Country.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
For the A.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
Your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live nights and weekends. This is Braves Country. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest
The Titans
Florida.
are on the clock.
We are still trying to get Dr. Ward on the phone. He did call yesterday. Maybe
Well, he's resetting Mark McLeod's leg, from falling.
I think we got him. I think we got the man, the myth, the legend, and he can tell you all about it. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. I tell you what, females, breast cancer is like it's dropped down. I think 1 in 4 or something like that. Brian, you know all about it.
Yeah.
I know all about it. It affects a lot of people's lives. And skin cancer, same thing. I've got one of my old coaches that struggling with it right now. It's what you do early in your life. It gets you later. Make sure you're taking care of your skin. You got young kids out there in that sun. Don't let them get sunburned. Keep the lotion on them. Get them with the right clothes.
Trick is reapplying.
Yeah.
A lot of people put it on the first time. They forget to reapply.
Right.
That's the thing.
We got him. Doc?
Howdy, fellas.
Hey, give us a rundown where they can go. We're talking about skin cancer. It can be deadly. I mean, you got to catch it early. If you got it, you want to get it cut out, get it out completely out. You don't have to deal with it anymore. What's the best way to get up with the best man that knows all about it? That's Dr. Ward. How do we get up with you?
Well, you just give us a call at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Bonifay, Defuniak, or Marietta.
Well, I want to ask something. You had mentioned something, too, and I really am next time I have an appointment with you, I'm going to come out there and really sit down and talk to you about it. But you had mentioned something about this heart they can do, and it's a new hospital up on 331. Is it the one close to Interstate 10?
That's right. It's North Walton Doctors Hospital. It's just south of Defuniak Springs, about 1.5 miles south of I-10. Really, really close to Freeport, actually, which is the fastest growing city in Florida. And basically it's a CT scan that can image the heart and get a look at all your coronary vessels and make sure your heart is healthy. Before this technology came out with artificial intelligence combined with CT scanning, the only way to get that information would be to get a heart catheterization, which is a procedure where they have to go in and put a catheter up your femoral artery, and that's a very invasive procedure that has risks to it. So, you go from a procedure that has real risks where you're having to go and get put under and sedated and all that, and now you can just get imaging that takes 15, 20 minutes and find out if your heart's healthy. And obviously it's a much lower cost than getting an invasive procedure as well. So it's really even affordable for people who don't have insurance or whose insurance won't pay for it, which is a huge problem these days. It's under $1,000 to find out if your heart is healthy.
Yeah, I definitely want to do this. Now, do they shoot dye in you, or are you just getting the machine?
There's contrast. You got to get a little IV and get contrast because otherwise you can't really get those images of the vessels like you need to.
Okay. All right. Yeah, when I see you at your office, I'm going to get all that information and just seriously, the people out there now driving, listening, they've had heart problems like I've had. What can they do? Do they call? Who do they call? Who do they talk to? We live here in Bay County. How do we get up with these people?
Yeah, you just call North Walton Doctors Hospital. You could just do the Google search and see that is the highest rated Google review hospital in the entire panhandle of Florida. And obviously the number for the hospital's there. I wasn't quite prepared, so I don't have the number memorized yet. But it's North Walton Doctors Hospital. You call that number and ask for your CT of the heart and make sure that your heart is healthy.
Yeah, Glenn, hand me another donut, please. Yeah, I don't know why I have these issues, but I got to get checked out for sure. Doc, a lot of questions. We were looking at the video, and I said, no, that's not Dr. Ward. It might be Mark McLeod. Everybody in Gainesville was having a good time. Didn't you tell me they greased down the poles, everything?
The light poles.
Did you
Apparently not all of them.
Did you see the video in Gainesville where the kid's up on top of the light? I mean, that thing's up in the air pretty high. Seriously, you go stand under one.
Yeah, and then they've got a really good video angle of the kid actually when he falls hitting the road underneath. He actually fell on his back, but reports out of Gainesville is the kid is okay. I think he needed another drink or something, right?
Yeah. He's training to be a wrestler. He took a good flat back bump. Yeah.
I don't get that.
I think he was numb enough when he hit the ground.
God almighty. That's crazy. But man, now Glenn told me something that it's kind of embarrassing, and I hope you can correct this.
Listen, false news is about to happen.
I want you to correct this situation down in Gainesville. If all they gave him is $50,000 for winning a national championship, to me, that's a slap in the face. I hope you guys get together and give him a new contract or do something good. $50,000. They give Alabama that for win a game.
Hey, listen, Todd Golden was a new coach that came from a mid-major, and that's what I'm sure that's what's in his contract. But you can bet bet the farm on the fact that he is getting a contract renegotiation right now, which will treat him very, very well, like pretty much all the other coaches that have a national title on their resume now.
And he's young.
And by the way.
Yeah.
The good times continued. The good times continued to roll.
5-4, baby.
Last night.
God.
Continued the historical dominance of Florida State baseball by beating them 5-4 in Gainesville.
Well,
Glenn's loading his weapon.
Well, you're behind in wins though. It's 135 to 129 FSU. So in one tie.
Hey Doc,
he was ready for that.
Doc, if Glenn asks you for the physical address, don't tell him.
I already know where he lives. I already looked it up. But no.
Yeah, but
I agree with you.
In modern times,
Okay.
we've now won 7 of the last 8 series against Florida State, and I guess back before a bunch of the listeners were born, Florida State was better at baseball.
Oh, that's true.
He's got some big time fans at Jay Michaels. They listen to him, and they always make comments. They're big FSU people. Let me put it that way.
Here's the
do
thing,
not
though.
admit lists.
The reason I was talking about, I want you to keep Golden because he's done such a good job. You tried to fire him with a setup on the false pretenses of him chasing around women or something. And the other thing,
I'm convinced that was a shot at Strickland.
Yeah, that probably was. But the other thing too is, with Kelvin Simpson, which is 30 years older than he is, made $100,000 each game he won, $300,000 from making the Final Four, and if he'd have won, he'd have made $500,000 bonus. We got to get him up there. You want to keep him long.
Yeah,
but like Doc, you pointed out, that guy came from the NBA. And he was proven. I get where Doc's coming from.
Yeah.
And that was a contract. I get it. But you're right, Glenn. That's kind of a...
Well, I agree. He's done a really good job. I'm not saying that. I thought they would win all along once we saw them when they beat Auburn.
I got a funny feeling he's going to get taken care of.
Oh, yeah. I would hope so. So you guys going to have to come off your paychecks there, little Doc.
Yeah. Gainesville. Hey, listen, Gainesville's partying all week. The Orange and Blue game is on Saturday, and they basically announced everybody there when the team flew back in that a full day's festivities will commence, and the Orange and Blue game is somehow going to get involved in the festivities as well. Probably a big intro to the home crowd of the national champion basketball team.
Well, good. I just hope...
Them Gator boys stay hot.
That's right. Are they going to have class in the next 2 weeks, or are they just,
They don't need to.
That's right.
All of the class is going to be rewatching all the comeback victories. And there will be an exam for all of the students to recite all of Walter Clayton's statistics.
Are they going to actually have a game? We got Mark McLeod coming on here in a little while. He'll know, but I haven't even really studied up on spring football as much because it's changed so much. They don't give any information about anything. They're all worried about players leaving and everything. So I don't even enjoy looking it up. But anyway, are they going to do the old-fashioned spring game?
Yeah, all I know is it's going to be a celebration. Now I wasn't going, so I don't know any of those details. But I'm sure Mark will know the details.
All right, Doc, we got to take a break again. Skin cancer can be deadly. Everybody seems like getting it, and that melanoma you can't play around with. Tell us some things we can do, like the tanning beds. You got to be out of your mind to get in a tanning bed, in my opinion. Talk about that.
Yeah, obviously, ultraviolet radiation is bad. It's the primary cause of skin cancer. So, yeah, if you're intentionally getting in a machine that puts concentrated ultraviolet radiation into your skin, it's kind of a bad idea. But, also, natural sunlight is a source of ultraviolet radiation, so you'll want to protect your skin by wearing sunscreen and reapplying, or just staying out during the heat of the day when the ultraviolet index is the highest, and or wearing protective clothes.
All right. Doc, get down to local 115, Wednesday through Friday. If you're a coach there, $15, 15 Roy.
See, Doc's been a coach.
That's right. You get, if it doesn't matter if high school, elementary, it doesn't matter what you coach. If you're a former coach, you get down there. 15 oysters, $15. You can't beat that. Their crab cakes they got the best. I mean, it's not even close. Gumbo's good. Everything's outstanding there. Tommy Oliver draft beer is really good. Go check it out. I think you really enjoy it. The local 115. 10 wings, $10 on Wednesdays. $5 house wines on Wednesday. Go check it out and have a great time down at the local 115. That's local 115 on Harrison Avenue, historical downtown Panama City. I tell you what, I'm pumped up about Steve. You know, Steve, you've coached with Steve.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
And I'm still here to tell the tale. That's correct.
You know, he loves kids. He loves sports.
Yeah.
He helps people out. He's a great man. But their shop, I have no idea. They've been serving Bay
really
County
cool.
since 1979. 46 years they've been in business. This is unbelievable. That tells you how good they are. They sell new bikes, used bikes, large selection of electrical bikes, which that's the biggest thing going on right now is electrical bikes. They repair all kind of models and makes. It's unbelievable. Even the electric ones, they can do it all. Local, right down here on 1924 Southwest 23rd Street, right across from Sam's. Go check it out. Steve's Bike Shop. You know, every time you buy one of these bikes from a national store, you drive it outside the first time that both wheels go flat. You won't have that problem at Steve's Bike Shop. I guarantee you that.
I didn't need that much.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. Dr. Ward.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Country. Take me home to a place where
I belong.
West Virginia. Mama.
Just a text from somebody that says, does Coach Hale's music CD come with a rubber mallet so I can bash my brain out while listening?
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, a wind out of the north around 2 miles per hour and clear skies with lows around 55. Tomorrow, sunny with a very light wind and a temperature near 74. Moving into Friday, the same with a high of 74 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPNNW.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The legendary Dr. Ward. Offices throughout the Panhandle. Skin cancer, it takes 5 minutes to save your life. Seriously, 5 minutes to save your life. Doc, where are you located? Give him out the roll call real quick.
Yes, you can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Mariana, Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, Santa Rosa Beach, Water Sound, Panama City Beach, and Port St. Joe. To make an appointment, just call 233-3376. 5
minutes can save your life. Think about that. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go get checked out. If you get up there in age, go get it checked out at least once a year, regardless. All right, let's get in here. I got some questions for the I'm going to pick your brain. I'm going to see how good you are today, Doc. And Glenn, don't look. I'm going to ask you questions, too.
I can't read that hand scribble.
That's true. Now, listen, these schools, there's 5 of them, 5 universities. They're all blue bloods. They are unbelievable over a period of time since college football was started.
Got it. No Mississippi State. Got it.
Most NFL draft picks of all time. Where did they come from? The top 5 since the NFL has drafted. Doc, give me your best shot at it. Who were the 5 teams with the most NFL draft picks?
I'd say Alabama, and we're saying all time?
All time.
All time. Okay, so I go Alabama.
Wait a minute, let's go. Let me go there. Who do you think's number 1?
I'd say Alabama's number 1.
Brian, hurry up.
I'm between 2. Notre Dame.
Correct. 532.
Okay.
Who is number 2? Big time football. They've been down lately.
This is who I was between.
Miami?
All time now. All time. All time. The Miami.
Nebraska?
Man.
You get third
Doc
guess.
was partying too hard.
Come on, Doc. They just joined the Big Ten.
Oh, that's going to be USC.
Correct. Notre Dame's number 1 with 532. Number 2 is the Southern Cal Trojans, 530. Really close. Who's number 3, Glenn Manley?
Ohio State.
Yes, good job. You looked. 489. Good job, Glenn. Doc, who's number 4? Number 1's Notre Dame with 532. Number 2 is USC, 530. Number 3 is the Ohio State Buckeyes, 489. You have 2 left. Who is number 4?
Oh, if you're coming back to me, I'm going to say Alabama.
Give us 2 more shots. 2 more shots.
Oh.
Come on.
I don't know, man. I mean, we're talking like back before I was born. So,
But these are blue bloods. These are the true blue bloods.
The problem with Alabama is they keep coming down here for spring break and shooting up plays, getting arrested, and that's why they don't get drafted.
One more shot. Give me a name.
Michigan?
Hey, good selection. Not number 4, but number 5 is the Michigan Wolverines with 414 kids drafted all time. Who is number 4? Who is number 4? It's a blue blood program.
I think I know.
Who?
Kentucky.
Oklahoma.
You are correct. The Oklahoma Sooners, 417. Not the Texas Longhorns. Not Alabama did not make the top 5. Michigan did not make the top 5. I mean, Texas didn't. Nebraska didn't. Here we go. Number 1, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 532. USC is number 2 at 530. Number 3 is Ohio State Buckeyes, 489. Number 4 out of the SEC, Oklahoma, 417. And out of the Big Ten, the Michigan Wolverines, 414. Doc, I do want to know this, though, seriously. There's some experts pick this. I don't know if I agree with it or not. But if you had to pick the 3, just 3 greatest running backs in the history of the NFL, what 3 would you pick?
Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, and Walter Payton.
Wow. Good job. You almost smashed it completely. It's an opinion thing, so you can't be wrong. Who do you think the 3?
I hate even doing this because how do you leave out the guy who has the most yards in history? But Barry Sanders is the best I ever watched. I thought Walter Payton was the best, before that. But to me, the best running back that ever played in the NFL was Jim Brown. So I would go Brown, Payton, Sanders.
Glenn, what do you think?
I was thinking Jim Brown also. Those are the 3 I would pick.
But I don't feel good leaving Emmett out. That would be my opinion on the 3.
O.J. Simpson.
I have a hard time putting people who played so long ago because like the size and speed got better and better as time went on. So the question for me is could Jim Brown have done what Barry Sanders did. I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing. They play about 7 more games than they played, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and Brown didn't play for long. I think you always have to judge people against the competition that they played against at the time. So Brown wouldn't have had all of the training improvements and resources available to him that like Sanders would have done. I guarantee you nobody wanted to play behind the line Barry Sanders played behind either. So
Right. Jim Brown was the big running back in the day. He was a big kid. But today, the big kids like Derrick Henry, 6'3", 255. I mean, it's just different.
I mean, there's a lot of great backs we're not talking about. We're not talking about Gale Sayers. We're not talking about O.J. Simpson. We're not. I mean, they're great backs that Earl Campbell.
O.J. Simpson's sharp now. He's really sharp.
You know, there were a lot of great backs.
He'll cut you up. He'll cut you up,
I
baby.
like the sharp
He can
thing.
cut on a dime. He's unbelievable.
Cut on a dime.
He'll take your head off. I mean, he's unbelievable.
They didn't give him credit for all them yards he went down the 405 in that Bronco either.
All right, here are my 3. I had Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. I used to watch him when he was in Mississippi. But his trainer was a big Southern Mississippi booster. Anyway, not his trainer, but his agent. And then Emmitt Smith. I just watched Emmitt play. Emmitt was not the biggest. Emmitt was not the fastest, but Emmitt was the best. I mean, he was unbelievable. I can't believe y'all didn't mention it. Well, you did.
No, well, Doc mentioned Emmitt.
Okay, so
I had a hard time leaving him off.
Emmett was the first name that came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Emmitt. All right, here we go. Here's the experts. This is what the experts had. Barry Sanders, number 1. Walter Payton, number 2. And Jim Brown, number 3. So I was wrong. You two were right. Me and Doc were wrong because I would have taken Brown.
I'm not sure I like being in line with these quote experts, but whatever.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it's their opinion,
It is,
too.
that's right.
So, but, you should have seen him in high school. That was even better.
And that's the thing. If you're going by pure numbers, Emmitt has to be at the top.
How much time we got? Oh, good. All right, I wanted to get this in. I wanted to say, I really like Doc's smart.
Alabama.
Doc is smart. He graduated from Florida, where you have to be highly intelligent just to get in. All right, Doc, here we go. How old are you? When were you born?
1976.
Oh, you might have a problem with this one. Name the 1970 Southwest Conference teams. Give me your best shot.
I don't even know what the Southwest Conference is.
Glenn, you should know this.
Is that like what the big? Did they used to go play in the? Did they used to go play in the Cotton Bowl?
Yeah. It was what became before the Big Eight.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I know Arkansas.
That's the only team. Wait a minute. No. Arkansas is the only team from out of the state of Texas in 1970.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Okay, in Arkansas, SMU, Texas.
Yep.
Texas A&M.
Correct.
Probably TCU.
Correct.
Let's see. Houston. What other schools were around in Texas back then? Oh, Baylor. Baylor.
There you go.
Baylor.
There you go. You're one away. You're one away from winning.
I think I got this.
Last one would have to be Texas Tech.
He got it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was a toss-up for me, Rice or Texas Tech. I wasn't sure which. Yeah.
All right. We all know SMU. You know their colors.
Green.
Do you remember? This is back in 1970 now. 1970, not this modern time. What was the colors of TCU back in 1970? Not 2000, not 2001, not recently, but back in 1970. Think about it. Was there a change? Can anybody remember the color?
If it was Texas, I guess blue and red because that's the state flag.
Close. Anybody want your shot?
White and blue?
White and blue. Yeah.
Yeah. man.
Same it is now. I just no.
Well,
they're purple now.
They're purple.
Yeah.
They're
Purple now.
Yeah, they should be calling them. You know, should be calling them the
you know what? I think I screwed up. I think they were purple and white.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway.
No, I can't believe you screwed it up. No.
All right, Doc.
Welcome to I Say What I Want with Coach James Hale.
Give us a rundown and get on skincare. Seriously now, we're getting ready to go into the summertime. The weather's going to start getting really warm. People are going to be playing golf. We got to really take care of our skin. The athletes out in it. Coaches are out there. A lot of them don't wear hats. Last time I went in there, you went through my head, and you found stuff I didn't know I had, those ticks and fleas.
Would that be brains?
Yeah, usually nobody finds anything.
Yeah. So talk about what we can do to protect ourselves, not just lotion, is some of the things we wear, hats. Give me a rundown. Help me out.
Well, basically, if sun's getting to you, it's bad for your skin. So yeah, I mean, wear a hat, preferably one with a wide brim. A lot of people wear those hats that you can see through. So if you put your hat in front of your hand, you can still see your hand because it's got little holes in it. That means it's not protecting you. Okay. So, and then, just sunglasses because you got to protect your eyes because UV radiation causes cataracts too, so you don't want that when you get older. And then just some of this SPF protective clothing now that's like vented, so it can be hot out, but you can still be protected and not be super hot because the clothing technology's gotten better and better. And then any exposed skin, you do want to wear your sunscreen and reapply, especially after you got wet or sweaty and toweled off.
Doc, one more question. Answer this for us, please. It's great to be
a Florida Gator.
He got that one right. We'll see you next Wednesday, Doc. Thank you, sir.
All right, later.
The legend. That guy's unbelievable. I love that guy. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I had another doctor I truly love, known him for 25, 26 years, the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. This will be his 26th straight year he's been on Bay County sidelines, taking care of athletes. The guy is incredible. People come from all around just to have his magical hands operate on him. They got the robotic surgery he does. He's the best at that. He was one of the first ones ever trained in that. The guy's incredible.
Every time you say it like that, I just hear Lieutenant Dan, magic legs. Just hear it.
Thank you, Brian, for that great commercial. Anyway, listen to Chad every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And I'll say some more about Stevens Air Conditioning in just a minute, but they're coming today, 1 or a little bit after 1, to get our air conditioning heating unit serviced. We get it done twice a year, right before summer, right before winter.
Saves 9.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. It makes it last longer. It saves you money on your power bill. Highly intelligent people get their service twice a year. That's one of the few things you can purchase that actually pays for itself. And also, listen to Patrick every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Turpo Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely beautiful? You worried about insects inside your house? Call Patrick. Turpo Pest Control will take care of every problem you've got. They do an incredible job. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Alabama Crimson Tide 8A game, 8A practice this Saturday. We'll be right back.
Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straight away center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, a wind out of the north around 2 miles per hour and clear skies with lows around 55. Tomorrow, sunny with a very light wind and a temperature near 74. Moving into Friday, the same with a high of 74 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
And here we go.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Alabama update. We just talked about it. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Jason's crew doing an incredible job for you. Don't even think about some national brand. Don't think about any other company but Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals. One of the few things you can purchase that will pay for itself over a period of time. Our power bill went down so much it was incredible. We are so grateful that we happened to luck up and get Jason and Stevenson Air Conditioning, and we will be with them forever. They do a great job. Again, they're coming out today at our house after 1 o'clock today to have our service for the summertime. It's going to help it run better. It's going to save you money on my power bill, and it's going to last a lot longer. That's what you get when you go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals. Alabama Crimson Tide basketball had a really good year, no doubt about that. This is your last college basketball poll from USA Coaches Polls. Kind of different than the AP poll, but let's go over. Shall we? Yeah, let's do. The #1 team in the country, of course, we all know that. The national champs, the Florida Gators. Florida Gators went 36 wins and only 4 losses. #2, we all know who that is, the Houston Cougars. 35-5. Great job by Houston. And their coach made, what, Glenn, the run about $500,000?
$300,000. He made $500,000 this year.
Yeah, good job. That's bonuses. Bonuses. But he came from the NBA. He knew how to make a contract. #3, Duke. And I tell you what, Duke is, to me, as good as anybody. They were 35-4, had a great year. And #4, the beloved, our Auburn Tigers, War Damn Eagle, 32-6. Don't turn the ball over so much. Who knows? You might have been the national champs this year. #5, out of the great SEC, the Tennessee Volunteers with a record of 30 wins, 8 losses. Yeah. So in your top 5, you had 3. Let me say that again. From your top 5, you had 3 from the SEC. And the other 2 was from the Big 12 and the ACC.
And here, Alabama in there.
Here we go.
Fire
#6. Here we go. #6. Roll Tide.
Couldn't even get in the top 5.
Alabama 28-9, finished 6th in the coaches poll. And #7, Michigan State with the legendary head basketball coach. I'll get it right in a minute. The guy is a great coach, no doubt about that. 30 wins, only 7 losses. #8, Texas Tech, 28-9. #9, Maryland, 27-9. And St. John's, 31-5 at #10. The rest of your top 25, Michigan, 11. Purdue, 12. Arizona, 13. And our Kentucky Wildcats, his team at #14 in the country. BYU finished 15th. Wisconsin was 16th. Iowa State, 17th. The Ole Miss Rebels, 18th. Ugh. Texas A&M, 19th. Gonzalez, 20.
Who?
Louisville, 21. 22 was St. Mary's, I guess.
Yep.
I can't read it. #23 is Clemson. #24, Creighton. #25, Arkansas. Were you surprised Arkansas was so back so long?
No, I mean, they were a 10 seed. I mean, I get that. That's like St. John's was 10th, and they went out in the second round to Arkansas. So,
yeah, okay.
I did notice my Bulldogs didn't make the list. So, awesome.
All right, now this.
Great.
Well,
Thanks
let's
a
check
lot.
this one out. They might have made this list. This is the final AP poll for college basketball. 25, 24, 25, whatever it is, 25. What was that, 24, 25, 20 national champs? All right, AP top 25. Number 1, Florida. Number 2, Houston. Number 3, Duke. Number 4, Auburn. So number 5, Tennessee. Number 6, Alabama. Number 7, Michigan State. Number 8, Texas Tech. Number 9, Maryland. Number 10, Michigan. St. John's 11. Kentucky 12. BYU 13. Purdue 14th. Arizona 15th. Wisconsin 16th. Iowa, so it's different. Iowa State 17th. Ole Miss is 18th. Texas A&M 19th. Arkansas is 20. Louisville 21. Clemson 22. St. Mary's is 24. Memphis 25.
Who is 23rd?
25. Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Is that what it is? Gonzaga?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now here's your national championship odds for next year. They already got it out way too early.
Well, because nobody knows who's on their team yet.
I get it. But here we go. Let's do it. The best team right now, if they can keep what they've got, which they won't, and they're going to bring – Alabama's already brought in 3 good players. Alabama's going to be good next year. But here we go. The number 1 best odds to win the national championship. Go bet the house on it right now.
Let's go.
I guarantee you'll win. Mortgage your house at plus 1,000. The team to win the next national championship. Duke. Coming in at number 2.
It depends on who's officiating the game.
Well, flag was a big part of their team.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Coming at number 2, Houston at plus 1,200. This one, man, Randy's going to like this. Number 3, Louisville, plus 1,400.
John just threw up in his mouth.
They were tied with Purdue at 1,400 also. Then you got Kansas, plus 1,600. BYU, plus 1,600. Roll!
BYU's going to be up there. They signed one of the top, if not the top player in the country.
That wasn't Roll Tide either. I made a mistake. It's Arkansas, plus 1,600.
You did it again.
Dang.
You can't. I mean, you were cheering for Arkansas at the SEC baseball tournament for 3 innings, thinking they were Alabama. I'm not making that up, folks.
I just can't. Whoever wrote
there's an A on it.
Whoever writing this stuff out can't spell.
Yeah.
The next team is the Auburn Tigers, plus 1,800. So is Connecticut. So is Alabama. And then the last ones here really got a shot at a championship. The Kentucky Wildcats, plus 2,000. We heard somebody yesterday sit in here and tell us Kentucky's back.
Oh, that'd be good. I mean, I like
tell them.
I told you that they got Cam. I can't remember his last name, and it wasn't just me. Who else was in here? Oh, Jim,
Jason,
Mr. Jimmy, and Jason, and they said that they've done some recruiting. And, they got to the playoffs. No, they didn't win, but it took them 6 years to get there. Coach Pope's, I think, is on a roll. He got a little experience, which he really didn't need it. But, I just feel good about him next year. I do.
I do, too.
I'm real interested because it hasn't happened yet with men's college basketball. If you look at this offseason, you're seeing it a lot with women's college basketball. You're starting to hear rumors about it in the NFL because of the rookie cap situation there. People might start staying in college.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can make more money in the NIL system, especially until this house settlement thing gets done. But, like, you have the girl who's projected to be the number 2 pick is not only staying in college but transferring because she's going to make more money going to TCU than she would in the WNBA because of their cap structure. There are 2 other lottery picks. One's at LSU, one's at UConn, who are going to stay in college instead of be lottery picks in the WNBA.
Absolutely.
They're already talking about Arch Manning potentially being like that. I mean, Brock Purdy was making less than half of the Big Ten and SEC quarterbacks. So I'm very curious to see with this draft if any of the projected lottery picks decide not to go out because they can potentially make more money, because that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I can see. In baseball, why would you not? Instead of I'd stay in college, get my degree, and make good money in baseball. I think you're going to see that also.
Get your 4-year degree on the 10-year plan.
And Alabama's always had a tradition of the spring football game. You could take your family there. You could have a great time. It was free to get in. It's some of the time that their fans could ever go was the spring football game. That's gone. They're going to have a spring football practice. The coaches were trying to sell it, hey, they're probably going to enjoy this more. They kind of see what we do during practice. We'll see. But anyway, it's this weekend. Alabama's got a lot going on there, a lot of events happening there in Tuscaloosa this weekend for their Alabama A-Day practice. Not A-Day game, but A-Day practice. That is this Saturday.
Talking
Alabama
about
Crimson Tide.
Practice? We're talking about practice?
How much time, Wildcat? Aren't we going to give away another chance to get a...
yes, we are.
Let's do it.
All right, here's what you got to do, boys and girls, moms and dads. Listen up. We're going to give away 2 tickets to the Jack's Links 500 Sunday, April 27th. Now, what you got to do right now is text the code word I'm about to give you and your racing name to 850-215-6290. Then listen to the Inside Drive and the Afternoon Underdogs. They call your name. You call them as quickly as you possibly can. That gives you a qualifying time. At the end of all this, the best qualifying time wins the tickets. Your code word for the day, text... What was that? Speed. The code word of the day, secret code word of the day. It's speed. S-P-E-E-D. Text that word, speed, to 850-215-6290, and then listen to the Inside Drive and the Afternoon Underdogs and see if they can call your name up. What's going on in there?
Oh, we're trying to win something. All right, look.
Ate too many muffins.
Don't
What kind of muffins are those?
Wednesday and Wednesday only. J. Michael's, the legendary J. Michael's restaurant, world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Come by and say hello to us. We will be there having a great time around 11:15. Check it out. You only on Wednesday you can get this. Thank you, Dino. We'll be right back. 104.3.
That's amore.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, a wind out of the north around 2 miles per hour and clear skies with lows around 55. Tomorrow, sunny with a very light wind and a temperature near 74. Moving into Friday, the same with a high of 74 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we're here to help you celebrate the graduate in your life with a personalized gift that expresses who she is to that special touch that symbolizes her style. Tracy's Fine Jewelry has a perfect gift that's as unique as your graduate, including monogram milestones that will personalize her style with a special touch that she will cherish for a lifetime. Let's celebrate the class of 2025 with a gift from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, putting a sparkle on Bay County for over 50 years.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Mop the King, James Jenner. Hey, today's Wednesday. Beef O'Brady's. If you're at Lynn Haven, get out to Beef O'Brady's. 10 wings inside for $9.99. Can't beat that. Customer service is unbelievable. It's like they know your name. TV's everywhere. Great atmosphere. Pat Perkins, the city commissioner over there, does an incredible job. His restaurant's even better. They do a wonderful job over there. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Go check it out. Have a great time. And you through there, head on down to David Adams. Ask Russ and Amber's, hey, look, I want a deal. I want to get some jewelry for that special person. I'm thinking about getting Glenn something. Go down there to David Adams. Russ and Amber take care of you. I guarantee you'll love what they do. We just had Dr. Ward on. He does an incredible job every Wednesday, 7:30 right here. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. For down there, right, feel right. He can save you. The guy is incredible. All right, Auburn Tigers, same thing, spring football. They're not going to have a spring game 8A either. It'll be a practice. They'll have everything going on, baseball, softball. They'll have all kinds of things going on for that. Glenn, today's a little bit different. We've got Mark McLeod coming on at 8:30 today doing everything Florida Gators. So we got to get our FSU in. I'm going to turn it over to you right now and tell us everything you got on the Florida State Seminoles.
Well, some of that it's a blackmail, so I can't do that. Tell you what it is. But anyway, the other thing too is I'll talk a little bit really quick about basketball. You know, we talked about Alex Steen, who played basketball at Arnold for 2021-22, is transferring in from Florida Southern. He picked FSU over Kentucky and Louisville, and he said one of the reasons is closer to home. He was at Florida Southern, but he was 2-time Sunshine State Conference Defensive Player of the Year, so we're glad to have him. 6'8", kind of a short guy coming in, but congratulations to him. And on the other side, the minus side, in women's basketball, the number 1 scorer in the nation who played for Florida State this year is now transferring to South Carolina to play the rest of her commitment. So we're thinking their money is bigger than FSU's money. That's what I can think. So anyway, and their coach is not a very good loser, so whatever that goes on with. Also in basketball, since March 24th, there's been 1,897 transfers. And Robert Morris lost an entire starting lineup since when their coach went to another school. So that's what's going on in basketball. So anyway, and it never stops. If you think it stops, it doesn't. So
the one thing I hate, and I understand why they don't do it because it's not as sexy in the media and whatever, but if they truly did stories on all the people who go in the portal and end up nowhere,
right,
might slow down a little bit.
That's true. That's true. And then
there's a lot of people.
Does the school take them back after they went in the transfer portal? If they're worth,
they can, but yeah. I mean, how do you repair that relationship?
Right. And now baseball last night, we all heard from Dr. Ward. It was 5-4, the Florida Gators, and FSU were number 9, coming from number 6 because they lost in the weekend, but they'll probably drop a little next week. But this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they will go to Virginia Tech, and FSU is now 25-7, and they're 8-4 in the ACC. The softball is number 7. They are 36-6. They will be at St. Mary's tonight, which is on the West Coast, of course. They are 11-1 in ACC, and then they will play this weekend at California, so they're going to have a little long road trip. And I think they only have one home stand coming back before the season ends, and that's Georgia Tech. But that's another thing. Junior linebacker Justin Cryer, you've probably heard that name the other night in basketball. His brother is L.J. Cryer, who is the Houston point guard, who is also scored 19 points against Florida, and he was, I think, an All-American too. So he said that I guess when they play Houston again, that they're going to get when they play Florida, they're going to get some revenge back for his brother. So anyway, the 2 freshmen that they think will come in and make a difference right off the bat is the wide receiver, Javon Boggs. Javon Boggs is a 4-star from Cocoa Beach, Florida. He's Mr. Football in Florida in that classification. He had 99 receptions last year, 2,133 yards, and 21 touchdowns. So he was on the top wide receiver board, and he committed to Florida State. And he's actually signed there. Also, the cornerback, Shamar Arno, he came from Carrollton, Georgia. He was flipped from Auburn, and he is just gets Tony White, the defensive coordinator, just raised about his ability and what he can do. So we think those two guys are going to make an impact right off the bat. And then Chop Chat, this Taylor Devers, who writes a lot for them, says 5 things he's learned from Florida State's spring practice so far. Number 1, he said that quarterback Castellanos will bring a new added dimension to the FSU offense. So he thinks that, with him being such a running quarterback, that's going to help a lot. He said the running game will be much better because of the people that are coming back, Davis Kidd, and also the ones we've added to it. And then the offensive line will be capable of creating opportunities. I like that, not holes, but opportunities. But that's because of the new line coach, so Herbert Hand. So defense will force more takeaways or turnovers. Last year they only had 6 turnovers, takeaways. They had 4 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries. So that's not very good for a Division I football team. And also having veteran linebackers will help the defense next year. So that's what they think is going to happen at FSU, and we're looking forward to that. And the track team is doing well. The tennis team is doing well. And so talking about Coach Alamino, she has also got breast cancer, and so she's being treated for that. Hard. And I noticed they had a lot of the ACC teams on Friday night rather, had something pink and something for her. Alabama, of course, because the coach is so close, they coached the Canadian team together. And some of the other teams, they had stuff for her, and they all had the the pink ribbons and stuff on their field. So congratulations to those. And she feels like the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital is doing a great job, and so she's got high hopes for that. And, we wish her well, but they're going to be away from home for a while, so I don't on the West Coast, and they play tonight, like I said, St. Mary's. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully the baseball team can come back, and they play a tough Virginia Tech this year. So
happy birthday to Matt Griffiths. He is 46 years old today, 46 years young today.
Right.
You know Matt.
I do.
Yeah, he graduated from Bay High School.
He did, yeah. Yep.
All right, I'm going to jump into Auburn real quick. We got a little bit of time. Comeback teams for 2025. They listed 3 of them, and I agree with all 3. Auburn, FSU, Utah. We all know Auburn and Utah both finished 5-7. FSU had a disappointing 2-10 year. They are going to have bounce-back years. There's no doubt about that. You heard it here first. One position group that's improved quite a bit from transfers, from being developed, and they need it big time. You're going to see a difference this year in Auburn's up front with the offensive line. They're going to be pretty good. They really are. I think you'll have the quarterbacks will be protected. I think they're going to open lanes for the quarterbacks to run, to throw, and the running backs. Auburn will have a good year this year. The pressure's on. It's time to win ball games. This will be Hugh Freeze, 3rd year, and Auburn, which is unheard of, has lost 4 straight years losing seasons. I don't think that's ever happened before. They had an offensive lineman transfer in from USC, Mason Murphy. 4 years at USC. He eventually became a multi-year starter for the Trojans. He transferred to Auburn back in December 2024. He's been through the winter workouts, going through practice. And they interviewed him. He said, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been around a lot of good offensive line groups, a lot of good offensive line rooms. This year, this team, this offensive line is one of the best I've ever been around. That's a good thing to hear. The guy knows what he's talking about. Again, Hugh Freeze has done a great job in recruiting. They've done a great job bringing people in. The only thing they haven't done is gotten it done on the field. They've blown games at Auburn, the games they should have won. That goes back to coaching. I don't think you'll see that this coming up year. I really think Auburn's going to be pretty good. If not, it will get ugly. Same thing up in Tuscaloosa. If it's not a really good year there, it will get ugly up in Tuscaloosa. Critical year for both coaches. Glenn, I think Auburn's going to be in great shape.
It should be. They should be, yeah.
I really do. I think the Florida Gators are going to be really good. Just personal opinions. I want to give a shout-out to, I think it was yesterday, it was his birthday. I used to watch his movies. I thought he was an unbelievable actor. I thought he was a great person. His name was Paul Newman. What the movie The Sting, that old movie, I thought that was outstanding. Cool Hand Luke, I thought that was, Cool Hand Luke reminds me of Wildcat. You know how cool he is?
Made a good spaghetti sauce.
You're cool like that.
How many eggs did you eat?
Yeah.
So, but also,
I ate eggs and escaped from prison.
There you go.
Well, we have a lot of miscommunication.
Taking it off here, boss.
Yeah.
But,
That's pretty good, Glenn.
So, also, The Great Escape. He was in The Great Escape.
Well, him and, you ever see that fight, the movie Cool Hand Luke, him in that fight?
Oh, yeah.
That was like Wildcat and Jason the other day.
Yeah.
We closed the doors, let them get after it. And you never gave up, though. You never quit fighting.
Never quit.
Yeah, you
never quit.
What about?
I don't have enough sense to quit.
The movie Bullet when he was in that Mustang riding up down to San Francisco.
What about The Great Escape?
Yeah, They always putting him in
Is
solitary.
that a Triumph or a BSA that he was riding over that? Which one was it, Brian? Brian knows. I know he knows.
Actually, I don't.
He wasn't even born when that movie came
No,
out.
but I've seen it. Triumph sounds right, but I'm not going to bet my house on it.
That was an XKE.
Paul Newman was one of the great ones. There's no doubt about that.
Jaguar XKE, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the motorcycle he rode over the fence.
I was talking about. No, that's the
He's
Great
talking
Escape.
about Bullet.
I was talking
You're
about.
talking about The Great Escape. He's talking about Bullet.
I was talking about Bullet.
Y'all, hey, boss, y'all don't y'all got to communicate.
I'm shaking it here, boss.
What we have is a failure to communicate here.
Oh my God, you were the voice actor on that.
Beefo Brady's Lynnhaven. Go check it out. You'll absolutely love it.
Yep.
The legendary Jason Kovaleski, every Tuesday, Friday, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make it happen for you. Make sure you listen Friday. Here we can ask him all kind of questions. He's got the answers. Newbies, 4 great locations. Thank you, John Sharp, for the FSU update. The Mothership's the best, legendary place. People come from all around the country, the world, to go to Miss Newbies. It's been around forever. Great security there, great entertainment all through spring break, because that's what Miss Charlotte demands, and she gets it. Newbies 2 on the Curve, that's where you can go to all sporting events. Then head on down to the Mothership and have a great time. Glenn, you got one over there in town, St. Andrews.
Yes, sir.
The blue building, that's outstanding, man.
On Bayview, right there, past, can't say this, Uncle Ernie's.
I will say this. We've got one of the best doctors that ever lived. This Dr. Chad Mitchell is a legend. Robotic MD. He was one of the first ones trained that way. You get back, you recover quicker. If you hurt a knee, shoulder, ankle, anything, you get injured, you call Chad Mitchell, make an appointment, he'll take care of you. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve is an air conditioner. Steve's Bike Shop. Just to name a few. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State.
Woo!
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right. He jumped on one and hits a homer.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
At the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. They take pride in caring for their customers' property by providing lawn and whole house pest control. Whether you have roaches or any other unwanted bugs in your home, Turf Pro has you covered. Or if your lawn needs weed control, fertilize, insect control, Turf Pro has you covered by providing custom treatments to meet your property's needs. No property is the same, so why should it be treated that way? Turf Pro, where the blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Call 850-890-5820.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimate how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
That boot store reminds you with the warmer weather usually means spring is just around the corner. That boot store will help you celebrate any time of the year with one of the widest selections of Western wear in the area. They can fit the smallest to the largest, so bring the family and dress up Western style at an affordable price. Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burke at 15th Street, that boot store where God is good all the time.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators!
Jump off a street light.
Oh, man. You know what? I want to give a big shout out to Florida Gators. You know, the SEC football has completely fell off the map. We're not what we used to be. We are
Chicken Little.
We're weak. We're very weak. We're not very strong across the board. We only made 3 teams made the playoffs in football. Thank God for the Gators. They saved us. We are national champs in something. We are the national champs in basketball. That's what
crying. You're in bed, just crying.
This is what this league is known for. SEC basketball. Football's dead, gone, buried. It's over. Over. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the Big Ten own college football. So with saying all that, let's bring him in, because I know he agrees with everything I just said, the one and only Mark McLeod. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. It's my first appearance ever on the Big Ten Network.
I just did that to upset you. That's the only thing I did. What about them Gators, baby?
Hey, how about it? 49th national championship for Florida.
Wow.
Looking awfully good. And, what a game that was. I thought Houston did a fabulous job on Walter Clayton Jr. I mean, he didn't score his first point, 25 minutes in. I think that, the intensity and the defensive effort by both of these teams and then Houston really knocking down some shots during a long stretch there where they were burying the shots. And, they're really not a team that's known for great offense. Good offense, very good offense, but not great. And, I thought what a game that was for the fans. That was just fantastic. And just as they did in 2 games recently, UConn, Texas Tech, Florida, at the end of that game, turned it on and turned it up and said, we're going to make some things happen. We're going to play. And they were not denied.
Mark, I want to ask you this. Glenn brought it up a minute ago, and I was thinking the same thing during the game. It was like watching the halves were so completely different. No fouls in the first half. The second half, it was like every other second they're calling a foul. Glenn brought it up. He said, I wonder if they were trying to keep the game interesting for the TV fans. Wasn't that weird?
Yeah, I love the first half. Look, we saw some plays in the first half. There's no question where a whistle would have been blown in most any other game. But I love the fact that the officials came in there and said, let's let these guys play. Let's let them go. And they were banging around. It was physical. It was intense. And then in the second half, I got the feeling that the officials said, we're coming down to the wire here. We probably want to take control of this game a little bit more. These guys are really going at it. And I, in my opinion, that's kind of what they decided to do.
Well, if you go back and look at starting with the Sweet 16, and you go back, it looked like when the team that was behind, they made it where they could catch up for all. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Florida because they played great, and you can't shut down Clayton forever. There's no way to do it. But when you get down to it, as a former official, we went to clinics, and they don't watch anything that we were told to watch. Yeah. Both teams half the time didn't they never brought the ball outside. They would just touch it. It was right there by the line. They just pushed it out. They never brought it in to control it out of bounds to bring it in. And those guys don't watch. You know, and you never watch anybody's feet. They can do whatever they want. It's like the gym class double fake to me, where you can run. But, you know, it's called both ways, but it just seemed like, you know, they letting them play the whole game, and then all of a sudden we're going to tighten it up. And it's hard for players and coaches to adjust to that if you've been playing, say, 35 minutes one way. So that's just my opinion, but I'm not taking anything away from Florida. They deserved it because they won the game. But the coach, you may not keep that coach if you don't give him some money. I can tell you that right now. you know
yeah,
what?
I think.
You know what, Kelvin?
I think he'll be back next year. That front court looks pretty good.
It does, yeah. But you know what? They paid Kelvin Sampson for his run through the tournament. They paid him $100,000 for winning the first 2 rounds. They paid him $300,000 to make the Final Four, and if he'd have won it, he'd have made another $500,000.
He'd have made $1 million for winning
in bonuses. Yeah. So,
hey, Mark, I want to ask you this. You think at halftime he went in there and said, that game was physical, man. I tell you what, I got a lot of respect for Houston. They play defense like no other. They are a very physical basketball team. You think Coach went in at halftime and said, look, we got to get more physical, we got to get tougher, because they didn't look as great, the turnovers, everything like that. And then they go out there and play real physical, and they start blowing the whistle every other second. But what do you think his halftime message was to them?
I think, from what I understand, a part of his halftime message was get back to playing Florida basketball.
Right, yeah.
And he was saying, look, you played this way all year long. You've been the physical team. You've been the team that has dominated the glass. You've been the team that get back to doing what you do. And the turnovers were, I'll say uncharacteristic, but guys, we've seen a couple games down the stretch here for Florida. You go back the last, say, 10 games or so, where they've had either turnovers or opportunities at the free throw line where they blew it. Yeah. And when they've done both, where they've blown both, they've lost a couple games during the season, or 3 games during the season. I can think of right off the top of my head. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that his halftime message had to be, and all I know is that part of it. Yeah. But, they needed to step it up physically a little bit, because I think Houston's the best defensive team I've seen in the country.
Right. And
those guys just bring it.
And they play physical, but I think, Florida's game is to get the ball out and get down the floor and let Clayton and those guys do their thing. And part of the problem was they were trying to play just as physical as Houston the first half, and they got into foul trouble because they were trying to bang around, and then they were slow getting the ball down the floor. And I think, like you said, let's play Florida basketball. And then when they came down the second half, you see them getting the ball out and getting it down the floor. And I think that really that plays into Clayton's hands, and so it's hard to stop him one-on-one. And if he sees an opening, he's going. So I think that all worked out to Florida's advantage. That's my opinion.
Mark,
I agree.
I got to put. I just got to make facts here. I did pick Ohio State, the Buckeyes, to win the national championship. They did. When Florida went into Auburn and did that to Auburn, I said I picked Florida then to win the national championship. They did, but that was incredible. Florida in the month of March, they went 12-0. I think they won 10 wins over ranked teams. I mean, they looked unbelievable. And then you had all the number 1 seeds playing each other. Is this maybe the best? I don't know. You know more about it than I do. Is this one of the best teams, or the best basketball team they've ever had?
Wow. Yeah, those 06, 07 guys. I tell you, that would be a heck of a game between those guys. Especially on the I'd give the credit. I'd give the backcourt to the current Florida team. But the front court, I still might give it to the Gators that won those first 2 national championships. It would be really interesting to see. But you're right, Coach. I mean, look, these guys went 6-2 in February, losing only to Tennessee, where they were blown out, and then to Georgia in a game they shouldn't have lost whatsoever. You just tip your hat to Georgia. They came to play and they took it to them. And Florida made a lot of mistakes in that game. And then, of course, they go into March and they go 12-0. I mean, 18 of your last 20 games, that's what it's all about. It's be good early, figure out who you are during the non-conference schedule, figure out some of your depth issues and who's hot for you, where you can count on certain guys. And then when you get into conference games in February, March, or January, February, March, you make the run, and that's what Florida did.
This basketball team, they should get a lot of credit, man. I want you mentioned a couple of them there. Look at all the adversity they had to overcome. look at their coaching staff, what they had to overcome, the situation with the head football coach, all that embarrassment, and we were all off there. We're all like, that don't sound good. Something ain't right. This thing can fall apart.
Right.
Then you just brought it up. They got embarrassed at Tennessee, and they lose to Georgia. We're like, man, what the heck is going on? But they overcame all those things. They turned those negatives to a positive, a setback to come back, and they win the national championship. This is something outstanding, I think.
Yeah, and, touching on that game, that loss to Tennessee, which was February 2nd, February 3rd, whatever it was, Vanderbilt was pretty hot then. Florida played Vanderbilt at home, almost blew them out, I want to say. I think there was a little run by Vanderbilt at the end. But then they hit the road to go to Auburn, and I think that game served as a catalyst for this team. They beating the number one team in Auburn, who's awfully good. And we know they deserve to be in the Final Four, no question. Yeah. But to beat Auburn and beat them the way they did in Auburn, I think that really served as a catalyst for this team because they only lost one game from that point on.
Yeah, I always say it doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. They turned all those negative things around. This is a really great basketball team, no doubt about that. And they're going to be good next year, like you pointed out. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I do think they might have some people reach out, but I think his contract will be a new contract coming up here pretty quickly, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. You better believe it. And yeah, you're right. I mean, the front court returns, and there was some talk earlier, will Chinelu return or will he not? But I don't even know where that was coming from myself, but he's coming back based on everything that we've heard. And then the backcourt, though, they're gone. I mean, your top three guards are gone, and that's going to be a huge hit for Florida. And as I understand it, people have already, in recent weeks, begun reaching out to get some thoughts on Florida.
Mark, we got to take a break. We're going to hold you over, come back and finish up. Baseball not doing so well, but they got a big win. Maybe that basketball national championship can turn around a lot of things down there in Gainesville. I didn't realize 49 national championships at Florida. Unbelievable. Right now, we'll be right back in a minute talking to Mark McLeod. But right now, let's talk about the local 115, historical Bay County, Panama City. Get down there and have a great time, especially on Wednesdays. Local 115 on Harrison Avenue. 10 wings for $10, $5 house wines. If you're a coach, past, present, it doesn't matter what level. Go down there and let them know. Eat a dozen raw oysters for $15. I think you'll love it.
Take two.
They're open Wednesday through Friday, the local 115. Steve's Bike Shop on right there on 23rd Street, 1924 Southwest 23rd Street, right across the street from Sam's. They've been serving Bay County since 1976. He's a local coach here, does an incredible job. But his business is unbelievable. If you're into these electrical bikes, and I think everybody is now, they got a large selection of electrical bikes. They got new ones, they got used ones. They work on everything. They can do it all right there, Steve's Bike Shop. Now, Kyle Vandergrift, they do an incredible job with local 115. He also has a company that's unbelievable. They can design, they can build commercial, residential, you name it all. But if you're looking for a roof, and I am looking for one, to be honest with you, the best people to do it are Vandy Roofing. TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting, they do an incredible work. Kyle Vandergrift, everything that guy touches turns to gold. We'll be right back, 104.3, with the legendary Mark McLeod.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, a wind out of the north around 2 miles per hour and clear skies with lows around 55. Tomorrow, sunny with a very light wind and a temperature near 74. Moving into Friday, the same with a high of 74 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings recognizes the optimism in the air, and a golden age has begun for all to share. Bestway has been constructing durable, custom-made portable buildings in just about any size since 1989. They know what they're doing. Of course, you're not obligated in any way to buy from Bestway Portable Buildings. However, owner Jason Mulder asks that you please give them a try before you buy. Bestway Portable Buildings, a golden age builder north of the Old Mall on Highway 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com.
Is your car pulling left or right? Do your tires look like they're losing their roundness? These are all symptoms that your car is in need of an alignment. Here at Alford Tire and Service Center, we offer all sorts of services, including alignments just for $89.99, which is backed by our nationwide warranty and easy financing options. If your vehicle feels like it's steering you off the road, let us steer you back in the right direction. Located on Tyndall Parkway in beautiful Callaway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, live from J. Michael's studios. We've got Mark McLeod on with us now. Everything you need to know about the Florida Gators. Mark, what's the other way they can communicate with you or listen to you? Where else can they go?
Yeah, BlissSportsRadio.com, and then certainly at McLeod Live on X.
Yeah, we'll just put your cell phone on Facebook that way.
I give that on every Monday. Hey, can this rub off? I mean, it seems like it's already has.
Don't say that when you're close to me.
I mean, seriously, but it looks like it rub off. They just won the national championship in basketball. The baseball team looks like it's fallen completely apart. And then they win. They beat the Florida State Seminole, which is pretty, well, Wake Forest put them on too, so. Glenn, don't hit me. Put the gun back in the pocket. But anyway, can it rub off on all these other sports? You win a national championship in basketball. Hey, they did it. We can do it.
I think it does help. I really do think it does help a little bit. I think you get a little bit of a bump out of it. I don't believe for a minute that you get much of a bump out of it. But you can inspire some kids. And boy, Florida baseball, they need some inspiration. You're talking about a club that was 16-2. At one point, and now they're 21-14. I mean, it has really been difficult. It's all areas of the game. Pitching, although the offense has had moments, but then last weekend they had no moments. It's just Kevin O'Sullivan has basically come out and said, "Look, I've done everything I can do. We've done everything we can do as a staff. These guys got to get back to what they're taught to do and get out there and perform and just." Turn it loose and let it go. And I think maybe you saw a little bit of that last night, but it would be awfully nice if you would see it during the conference schedule too.
Yeah, he didn't look happy any time during the game last night, even when they won. I don't think he still had that same face, and they were like, I don't know if we should go talk to him or not. So, anyway. Yeah. But they
threw a bunch of freshmen last night.
Yeah.
They threw Jackson Barberi. I thought did a really nice job to start that game.
Right.
For Florida.
The last guy came in really his little, it wasn't little because he was throwing 95 and then he throws it 88, the little curve, thing. It really kept him off balance, but I thought he did a good job at the end too. And then you had some really timely hitting like in the first inning, in the fifth, and then of course the seventh. I thought y'all did a really good job on that.
Yeah, I agree, and that's it. You try to bunch runs together a little bit. They had some opportunities to bunch a little more, but you get the run in the the run in the third, and then you get the 3-run blast in the fifth, which kind of did it.
Right.
Florida State came back, but they were 1 run short, and I just think that it's been interesting. That Florida State, that Sully's won 7 of his last 8 series against FSU, and it's just been a weird one where Florida has really dominated Florida State in the series, except for last year where FSU just rolled on the Gators.
Yeah, but last night I thought every time FSU had multiple runners on base, there was double plays by Florida's defense. I mean, the guy comes in and throws a ground ball and they turn it over. So, I really think that kept them in the game winning it.
Mark,
that's exactly my note, Coach. My notes I put Florida's pitching put 6 zeros on on the scoreboard with Florida State, and that's something you don't see with Florida State. 6 innings with a 0 up there, that to me was a ball game.
Right.
You know, I was looking at the SEC baseball power rankings. You just never see this. Florida's 15th, and Missouri is last place at 16th. They haven't even won a game against the SEC opponent. Help's coming. You got Blair coming from Arnold High School. You got Moss coming up there from Arnold High School. Those both will help the Florida Gators in the future, but they got to get it going better right now. Who they got coming up? Missouri, so that should help. You got 3 games versus Missouri. You just beat FSU, so that, honestly, that should be 3 more wins in a row right there.
You would think so. And then it's going to be a good weekend. I mean, because you got the spring game this Saturday, and you have for football, and then they just wrapped up a spring practice or spring scrimmage. I'm sorry, on the 4th. And now you've got people going to be in town for that. They're going to get a chance, if they want to go over and check out baseball. And I got to check the softball schedule. I have not checked the softball schedule this weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned. Let's give them a little bit of love real quick. Florida softball 7-5 in the SEC play. And I don't have anything from last night. Overall, this is what I had when this thing was written. Overall softball 34-8, 16-5 at home, 11-3 on the road, 7-0 neutral sites. Last Friday, Arkansas beat them 4-1. Saturday, Florida wins. They beat Arkansas 10-7, and then Arkansas wins 2 out of 3. They beat the Gators 9-5. Wednesday, they got Stetson. Today, they got Stetson. I'm not sure about who they got this weekend.
Yeah, according to the schedule, I'm looking it up. Ole Miss. Yeah, the Arkansas series, I did follow a little bit of that, and that's really the last I know. But yeah, that win in Gainesville, that's big for the Razorbacks. That's big. I mean, I know they're nationally ranked. They're 12th ranked, whatever they're ranked. But it was a good series.
Hey, Mark, I was talking to Dr. Ward. He doesn't listen to me because I'm a Seminole fan. But you know, since March the 24th, there's been 1,897 transfers in men's basketball.
Good grief!
No, it's
goodness gracious.
How many?
1,897 since
That's
March
crazy.
the 24th.
That's crazy.
And that's all divisions, but still. You know.
Hey, can you go back to this weekend? Is he going to run an old-fashioned spring game, or is it going to be a practice? You know, Alabama changed it. First time in history, they're going to go to an 8-day, not game, but practice. Auburn's doing the same thing. What's going on there? What's Billy doing? I know Dabo's keeping it the same as a tradition, playing a spring game. What's Florida doing?
Yeah, I think Florida pretty much is keeping it a tradition. I know there will be some periods where they run on a little bit of, they're going to run some specific third down situations and what have you. But for the most part, they're going to keep it. Just as is. And of course, you're not going to see much from Lagway. You're not going to see him throwing the ball around, but you'll see the other quarterbacks and wide receivers are looking great. In the scrimmage the other day, Cameron James, the 6'6" edge rusher, had a tip ball that he caught and started running downfield with. So, it's been really good. They've done some really nice things. There's some Cormani McLean has looked very good at Florida at corner, which is, something that needed to happen for that young man.
Yeah, real quick, Mark, back to basketball. I mean, can you just quickly encompass the roller coaster of the year for Golden? I mean, the year starts with the whole allegations, and although I think that was more targeted at Strickland than anything, but I know it's hard to say, but do you think that maybe helped rally this team together around the coach and help set up what they were doing? Or it's such a drastic 180 from the beginning of the year to where they obviously ended up.
I do think it helped. I think this team was so talented they were going to win.
Right.
They were going to win a lot of basketball games regardless. But yeah, I certainly do. You go back to '84 with Charlie Pell.
Yeah.
And when he was fired and Galen Hall took over, that team, it helped bring that team together. They rallied, even though as talented as they were, and they didn't lose another football game.
Yeah.
So, I think it did help.
Wow.
Mark, I got a question for you, then we got to go. Since 2000, only 4 schools have 3+ national championship. Only 4 schools. Who are the 4 schools, Mark McLeod? Give us your best shot.
Florida.
Absolutely. Who are the other 3?
Do the other matter?
The two from the same state.
All right, Coach Hale's asking the question, so one of the schools.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about basketball now.
Alabama.
Basketball. We all know.
Basketball.
Yeah. Florida Gators in basketball. North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Basketball. Duke in Who is the fourth? Roll Tide. Wrong. Wrong.
Who is the
fourth?
Not really.
Who is the fourth?
Connecticut.
Would it be Michigan?
That's
Connecticut.
right.
Connecticut. Good.
UConn.
Glenn
Yeah,
Manley,
UConn.
you're amazing.
Yeah, UConn.
Mark, did you get to see the video of the kid when he fell off the red light?
Yeah, I tend to watch that like 6 and 7 times over. Well, did he really do that?
Well,
is he really that? And he did.
No, what Mark wanted to see is if you could hear himself yelling, "Jump!" I bet you won't.
Oh, my.
Well, they said it hit on his back, and he's okay. Well, he was already numb. It doesn't matter.
Hey,
you liquid courage.
That's right.
You have a great day, man. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Go Gators, baby.
Go Gators. Take care, guys.
All right,
National champ.
We used to call that the ignorant oil when I was growing up.
We're out and living right here. Ryan Moby and David Underdogs later today. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Race to Talladega.
We got Jackson State Jeff on the line. Jackson State Jeff, how are you, my friend?
Man, doing well. How's it going, guys?
We're doing good. That was good. You were ready to go. You probably had 850-215-6290 already on the dial, and boom, knocked it out. David, what was that qualifying time there?
2 seconds.
Woo!
From PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Panama City Toyota, your racing station. ESPN Northwest Florida.